Good evening, everybody. This is Michael Filighera. I am with LogicalSignals.com and TradersHelpingTraders.com. And this is the Elliott Wave update for the NASDAQ 100 for Tuesday, September 28th, 2021. The NASDAQ continues to follow current analysis very cleanly, and we did continue lower within a intermediate third wave, which kicked off at Globex high from Sunday into Monday at 15,399.25. Now, within that intermediate third wave, we're going to have 5 waves of minor degree. And within that, it looks like we definitely have completed minor 1, minor 2, and saw the bulk of that minor 3 get put in today. And as I discussed and had anticipated, we did see some acceleration at several points within the session today. We did see some acceleration lower. That was right in tune with what expectations were. And as I had described, we have a third wave, which is usually the longest and the strongest. That's what Elliott tells us. But then also within that, we have what I call the point of recognition. And that is normally within the third wave of that third wave. So it's kind of the middle portion. So we had it coming in, and we had it, and then we had another round. And so I have placed the 3 here. I now believe that that third is not complete. So the minor 3, I don't believe is complete. In fact, I'm going to move it right now so that I'm not presenting a more confusing, and I believe it's going to end up being down there a little bit lower. So what we do have going on right now is just this continuation of this minor third. So within it, we have 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5. And that's just for the internal third. And then we have another 4 and a 5, and that's for the minor third. So we still have a little bit of downside to do. And just to complete that minor 3. So again, expectations remain for at least a drop down to 14,498, and if not lower, because that would be my minimum level that I would be looking for, not only for the intermediate third, but now even for the minor third. I think it can go down this far, but at least it should get down to below 14,700. And that would put us in here. Now, we have already completed, or one of the requirements in this, and that this low was at 14,807. And as I have been discussing, that the intermediate third wave, one of the requirements under Elliott would be that it puts in a new low below wave 1. It has now done that. So that part achieved. But now if we look at the internals of this third wave, on the intermediate degree, it still has quite a bit more to go. And that's why we discussed that as a minimum, that wave 3 would be equal to wave 1 right here at 14,498. That I do not think is going to be the completion point for this third wave. It may be, it's going to be reached and we'll bounce off of it, but that might just be where this minor third wave completes there, and then we get a bounce, and then it comes back down. So ultimately, I continue to look for the 1.618% level, and that would be where this intermediate third wave would be 1.618 times the length of intermediate wave 1. And that comes in at 13,941. So that remains a very strong possibility, but I can't discount or say that this whole zone, which really goes from 14,285 down to 13,862, it's quite a big zone. It's about 400 points. But can the NASDAQ do that? Absolutely. We saw it drop 400 points today. So within, if it got into this zone and it accelerated lower, it could drop another 400 points. 400 points from current levels brings us down to 43. So can it reach 44, 498? Absolutely, easily. Can it get down to 43? Yes, just does another 400 down day. We're there. So to think that, oh, that's so far away, when you have a day like today, it's not. It really isn't. The day was also extremely a good trading. And how I am meaning that, so we can open this up, these were such beautifully traded bars. And here we got the opening. So right off the bat, boom, 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 boom. And even if you could trade it down to that level, it was a 300-point drop. So that was very quick. That was an hour, 2 hours. And not to say that in between there were rallies, we saw them, right? That's a bottoming tail, but it did not follow through after it got here. And when the bar changed, it started down again. Same thing. Now, again, as you can see here, this particular bar, which was the opening, had gotten up, touched the 20, but fell straight out of it. And so those are important things to take note of when you're trading. And again, the trading is going to be more on, for me, is on my 1, 2, and 5 minute charts. But here's the 5 minute. So let's just kind of open this up on a 5 minute basis and take a look at from the opening. So there's the opening, and or the opening salvos, I think, is right here. And so this was, 6:30, well, 6:30 Pacific. And you can see it just dropped, and it dropped all the way from that high at 15,029 down to the low at 14,911. So it dropped over 100 points in the first 15 minutes. Then it put in a little bit of rally, then it just continued to drop. So very, very tradable. 5 minute bars, very, very tradable. And then you were able, and these were actually also very tradable. You just bought it and you just wrote it up. It could be more of a scalp, but they're tradable. So it was excellent trading today. And that's why I keep saying that just pay attention to price action. Pay attention to where your moving averages are. Understand the power of a 20 moving average and the 50 moving average and the 200 moving average. And when these are broken, again, I'm going to go up to that daily level because that's where I base a lot of this on. So if we open this up and we can take a look at what happened today, look what happened. Yesterday, it broke below the 20, we accelerated. Today, at 15,116, it broke below the 50. Look what happened. Each time these break below these important moving averages on a daily basis, it is discussing and telling us broadly weakness. Weakness is present in the market, weakness. And once that breaks, we should be expecting it to start to move a lot quicker. And that's exactly what it did. That is a very bullish bar. Excuse me, that's a very bearish bar on the daily chart. So this market has its work cut out for it in terms of trying to revert and go back to a more bullish picture. It also tells me that it is a third wave. It is producing a lot of acceleration to the direction of the move, which is down. So it all is very, very fitting on an Elliott basis and continues to confirm what my count is currently. So for tomorrow, I think we have a continuation of downside. I think that we need to put in a new low below what we did today. That would likely just complete this internal third. We're looking for the minor third to possibly complete. And then we get another wave 4. It's a bounce. It's going to be a little bit larger than this one. And this one was actually pretty good. When we have 740 or 741 being the low, and the next bar took us up to 874. That's 130 points. And that all happened in an hour. And what a beautiful bar. Very, very tradable. Both very tradable. This one for the ride up, this one got up to the top and then it sailed down. So that's why I don't think we're still not there yet. We're getting close, and we have Globex beginning in a couple of minutes. So we'll see what the markets want to do, but I still think to complete the third, I need to see some additional fifth wave down action. And that might not really kick in until the Asian markets open, and then again until the European markets take over. And then we probably will see a little bit of catch up getting down into these levels. And then a little bit larger fourth wave, which again, from wherever this bottoms, I'm going to be looking for it to come back up into here, right? I'm looking for another fourth wave bounce, and that normally will take us into the fourth wave of one lesser degree. And that would be this one right here. And then I'm getting that 4 and then another 5. And that's the 5 that I think takes us there and ultimately below and into that lower zone so that we can complete this intermediate wave 3. And then once that's done, guess what? We get another 4 and 5, but again, 1 degree larger. So each time we're putting them in, it's because the building block theory is following through. So 1, 2, and then wherever this 3 comes in, we get another 4 and then a 5, and that's going to be that 3. And then we get another 4 and a 5 for the intermediate fourth wave, and then we get an intermediate fifth wave decline. So I'll go through that into more detail as it happens, but it's good to keep in mind these are building blocks and they're on the different degree. So I'm basically counting this on a minor degree level, but internally they're minute degree moves. And then inside those, there's sub-minute degree moves. And so, but again, they produce the same patterns, and then that creates the one degree up. And that again creates 1 degree up as each one of these degrees finishes their sequence. It's another degree up. So as far as I'm going right now, we're still on an intermediate degree decline. But once those 5 waves are complete, that will then complete on a primary level, either a wave 1 or an A wave. So again, all in due process. And so this is why it's continuing, because our wave count is telling us it's going to continue. Our wave count is not telling us this is all done and now we're just going to start to rally again. By no means. Rallies will happen, but they're in fourth wave positions. They're not in a new bull market or a new rally phase or a new sequence up. That will come. But again, we'll make the adjustments for the degree that they're happening in. And degree is the size in terms of length of time and also in terms of point moves. How far can it go? Well, the degree will tell us. This is what I'm looking for, because I'll be able to run the Fibonacci from the top of 2 down to the bottom of intermediate 3, and that's going to give us our retracements for an intermediate fourth wave. Then as that breaks down, I can go inside and measure the minor wave A, measure the minor wave B, so we can do the internals. So it's all just building. We're just building on what has already happened and giving our probabilities of what's going to be coming. So for tomorrow, again, I do expect and suspect that we should have additional downside. And small rallies, not withholding or withstanding. They will happen, but I'm not looking for big moves from here. As I said yesterday, as the acceleration picks up and it does increase the volatility of the move and just volatility in other forms, then the volatility carries over into the expected bounce, a rebound type of a rally. That's also going to have more volatility to it. So we get a little bit larger moves, as we saw today as this small bounce took place. It was 130 points. That's a pretty large move. And that is extremely tradable in both directions. Okay, I'm going to leave it right there. Our next update will be tomorrow, the 29th.